Alright, yo. I feel insane right now. In a good way. I feel very relaxed. I feel amazing right now. But I also feel drained in a way. In a good way. And I want to say, when it comes to the semen retention shit, people will tell you one thing and somebody will tell you something else. You'll get mixed information, but what I like to do is I like to connect the dots from the people that I get the most connected dots from, if that makes sense, right? So like, if this person I've seen, like, he has content that I've like found in other places from other sources, books I've read, etc., etc. I'll be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna take some advice from this guy, right? And then, I ask him a question, and then he tells me something, and I'm like, oh, you know what? From experience, I feel like that I experience the same way. And I'm gonna tell you right now, for me at least, this is how the semen retention game goes for me. All right. Basically, you build up, right? So around a week in, you're feeling pretty strong. You're getting a lot of testosterone. Uh, you're not really getting that glow yet, or like that female attraction, like gnarly, and you're not really getting that fucking like super hardcore like drive or whatever yet, but you're kind of like on your way up, and you might be getting a lot of excitement for things to come. It's like anticipation mode, right? You get to around 14 days, 15 days, now you're feeling like you're like on some next level shit. Uh, but basically, you start feeling like you're reabsorbing your everything. Like you start getting that glow a little bit around in between 15 and 20 days. You start getting that glow. You also start noticing some female attraction and some extra drive or extra boost, extra power, um, and extra focus. You get a lot done in those days. Um, and then in between, 15 and 30 days, or 20 and 30 days, you're just fucking on, dude. That shit is just, this is your like moment to shine. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't feel any stagnant energy. You don't feel insanely angry. You don't feel, any form of, being drained or being tired or anything, right? Then what happens is, in between day 30 and 40, you have a little bit of, I would say, um, like a little bit of tension, a little bit extra tension. You're still on though, you're still driven, but there's a little bit more anger. There's a little bit more like you fuck with guys, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you give longer stares. You're like trying to get into fights. Some shit sometimes happens like that, um, but it's all subconscious. In between day 40 and 50, you might have some stagnant energy. Okay. Uh, Now I know a lot of people that tell me that, like, yeah, but if you go past it, you reabsorb again and then whatever. But generally, I notice around day, I lose appetite, I lose drive, and I don't flatline. I actually dip. I lose some testosterone right there. And I just feel all around I mean, like, still pretty decent though, cause I don't know, it really depends, but yeah, I've been told by many people that if you keep going, that it's good, but I have never gone past 50 days. All right. But anyway, so what I've done is I've asked people like Sexual Kung Fu, if you look him up on Instagram, and I've talked to him in the comments, and I'm like, yo, dude, like, how often do you actually nut? Like, you're in a relationship, how often do you actually ejaculate? And he told me, he said, he said usually I go 30 to 90 days in that range. Uh, I ejaculate during sex. Um, in between 30 to 90 days. So in between 1 to 3 months, in between there, he ejaculates a couple, like one time or a couple times, or maybe even a few times. Um, and then some other people in my comment section told me that they usually go, same thing, either 30 to 90 days in that range, and then they nut either 1 to 5 times. Basically, they drain themselves and then they climb back up. And I'll tell you this. So when I go 50 days, I get to this point where I'm like, okay, dude, I need to release. And what I do is I release during sex, right? Um, and then basically what happens is after the first time, my testosterone skyrockets after the first one, and I'm ready to go again. But I'm also super horny still, like insanely horny. So then generally what happens is I accidentally go again, nut again or whatever, even if I'm not trying to. Or maybe I do even trying, but it's like it just happens. And then after that one, a little drained, but then I just go to sleep and then I wake up super on fire again. And then there's a little bit of tension on that time. And it's like I haven't fully drained myself, but I'm fucking like and I'm still working out, I'm still like ready to go. But then I do the third one, and the third one is kind of just like it just walks out the door. Like you know when they say like when you have like women say when they have a baby, like the third one just walked right out the vagina. Well, that's kind of like what the third nut is after like those 50 days. It just comes out fucking easy. It's not even like you resisted it. It's kind of just like, oh, this is it, you know. Um, and then what happens is you feel finally like you got it out. You can take a fucking deep breath, is what it kind of feels like. Um, and basically from there, it's kind of like if you were working out 7 days or 6 days, the seventh day is your rest day, right? Just like God in creation, seventh day was his rest day. Well, the third nut is your rest night, and like so it took you 3 days to fully drain yourself, but you don't feel like you feel clear headed and you don't feel weak, okay? Because you already retained for 50 days, you don't really feel weak, but you don't want to go be social, but you don't want to go chase your purpose. Right now, you kind of just want to relax, and that's okay, guys. That's a part of life, and I still recommend going 50 days, and I don't think I'm gonna change that anytime soon. And if I do, I'll let you guys know on this channel. I'll be the first to let you know. But right now, I feel like I'm fully drained. I've nutted my third time, and I feel amazing right now. I had so much stress and so much tension right before that nut. Finally let it go, and now I feel just great. And I'm telling you, I'm excited to climb back that 50 days again. Here's why. Because that 50 days, when you're retaining, you're so connected to your purpose. You're making fucking gains in the gym, like everything's amazing, right? But I want to let you know, when you nut 3 times, try to do that. If you do this, if you drain yourself in between these sessions, I recommend you do it as quick as you can. Drain yourself as quick as you can, and then let the climb. Rest 3 days, rest a few days, but then let the climb happen immediately again. All right, get on. Get your vitamins in, and get ready to climb because I'll tell you this: each time after 50 days, I feel less drained, even if I try to drain myself completely. Even after nutting 3 times, I feel less drained than I did before when I nut 3 times. I feel less drained, less like it's insane. I just feel like basically I also had a message from the universe where basically I was like, okay, if I nut, uh, you know, 3 times every 50 days, that would be me nutting 21 times uh, per year, and that's a lot less than the average guy, right? And at that moment when I had that when I did that math, I looked and um, it was 12:21, and I had 21% battery. So I was like, okay, 20. Okay, I'm on to something. And not to mention, sexual kung fu, who pretty much knows more than anybody in this community about semen retention. He does the same thing, right? Basically the same thing. Um, so I realized that you know what, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm gonna live it. Because when I go too far, things fall apart. And if I if I nut more than once a week, things fall apart, right? So like in 50 days, how many weeks is that, right? I don't know, like it's like 8 weeks, 7 weeks. So let's just say 7 weeks, right? So if I was to nut once a week, that's 7 times in those 50 days. That would be 7 times 7. I would nut 49 times or whatever in the year. I'm cutting that in half, right? So even if you were nutting only once a week, which is still very little, right? I'm still nutting less than that in the year, almost more than half than less than that, less than once a week. So it's almost like I'm only nutting once every 3 weeks, basically, if you look at it per a year basis. Um, if I go 50 days and then nut 3 times. So I want to make that clear. It's basically like going only nutting once every 3 weeks. And yeah, I'm telling you guys, there's nothing wrong with that. This game is about knowing yourself, and that's it. I'll get comments from people saying that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, or I'll get comments on other people's channels saying like, "Nah, man, like you got to go forever," and I'm like, dude, it's about knowing yourself. Dude, I don't know. It's just this game's about knowing yourself. It's not about following some monk in the caves advice, and then if it doesn't work out for yourself, just to do it blindly because he said it led to enlightenment. Uh, Here's some news for you. There's motherfuckers that said that you'd reach enlightenment if you killed yourself, and they're fucking called a cult. So yeah, I just wanted to paint that picture for you guys. It's about knowing yourself ultimately, and for me, I go 50 days, and in those 50 days, I'm going hard on my purpose, and I'm making gains, dude. And I'm fucking killing it. I'm slaying at life. And then when that train stops, I could go further. I could try going further, maybe one time or another, if it works with my life. But if not, I release, feel fucking relaxed, and then I climb my way back up because I there's always benefits in the climb. In those 50 days climb, you always get benefits. So there it is. And if all of a sudden the benefits stop, then recycle that shit. So that's just the message I want to give you guys today. I feel amazing right now, but I'm ready to climb. Let's go.